First one, okay? Now this is a controversial one because, and also a tricky one to handle because Jesus came for sinners and not for the whole. He came for the sick and not for the whole. He told the Pharisees, they're asking why he only goes to sinners, and he said, a physician only goes to those who are sick, not to those who are whole. And the Pharisees ended up in hell, sadly, boom, religious leaders and all that, So people God is going to use in these next days, in these coming days, in the next few years, are the worst of the worst sinners. So, but they have to acknowledge that they're sinful first. So if Jesus was preaching today, he would have like the prostitutes, the drug dealers, the sex traffickers, and the homosexuals following him. However, while the prostitutes are acknowledging that what they do is sin, drug dealers sin, sex traffickers sin, pedophiles sin, while they acknowledge that all their stuff is sin, the homosexuals say, no, actually our stuff isn't sin, and we're prideful about it. Pride keeps you from God. You have to be humble and acknowledge that what you're doing is a sin. How do we know that is a sin? Well, I get my morals from the Bible. You might not, okay? But if okay, I'll put a video up here called "The Authority of the Bible" that I did some time ago. So, my reasoning is based on the Bible. So if you want to join the Jesus group, the Jesus squad, okay, you have to get with the Jesus program and accept what he accepts as wrong and right. To accept the blood and all that, you have to believe his morals. Now, how do we know that he calls gayness wrong? Romans 1:26-27. This is if you want Jesus, okay? For this reason God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. So they became lesbians. So I believe it's first fornication, then homosexuality, and then pedophilia, then bestiality, and then plants or something. I don't know, like just worse and worse and worse, and destruction, death. Sin leads to death. So likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men committing what is shameful and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error, which was due. So, if you want to join the Jesus squad, Jesus followers, accept his morals. We're not going by subjective moral reasoning here. Yeah. So after accepting his morals, there's a certain power that has to come to change the nature of the human body. I don't know. Maybe with the seraphim. Then, yeah. Hopefully, you just ask Jesus about it. I'm not the one to provide the power for healing and all that. Okay, next. So, the second false doctrine, is people saying hell isn't forever or that there's no hell. You can't say there's no hell if you read the Bible. Jesus preached on hell like multiple times. So, some say hell is not forever. Well, this verse contradicts it. I'm just giving you verses. I'm not giving you my opinions because my understandings are all based on one book, the Bible. Okay, here's the Bible. Revelation chapter 20, verse 13-15. The sea gave up its dead, and death and Hades gave up their dead, and each one was judged according to his deeds. Then death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. And if anyone was found whose name was not written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. Forever, eternity, burning, sulfur going through you, worms. Imagine the worst pain you felt. Multiply that by 10. By 10. Okay, so I'm whispering because of people sleeping. Sorry. So, yeah, multiply that by 10. Okay, cool. Just survive that and believe in Jesus. You're welcome. So, number 3 is the wrath of God. And there's some people that believe, okay, that believe that God is just smiling up there in heaven. you know, he doesn't have any bad feelings. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't uh, feel jealous over you. You know, he's just smiling, just happy, always, just smiling. You know that reminds me of a psychopath or a sociopath or something like that. God has emotions. If he has good emotions, he has bad emotions as well. The Bible says that. It says God got angry at David. Imagine his own person that he called a man after his own heart. He got angry. He was viciously angry. So he got angry at Saul as well. You know, the verse is like the children of wrath in Ephesians. So the wrath of God is a reality, and God isn't just some smiley person up there. You know, we go from one extreme to another extreme. So there's some people that believe God is just angry up there, but he's not. He's happy also sometimes. You know, you know, if you if you if you be his friend and all that, and try your best to leave darkness behind. You know, so another example of this. One example of this is Ananias and Sapphira in the book of Acts. Now, this is in the New Testament, so no one can say, "Oh, this Old Testament God." Da 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 da. You know, this is Ananias and Sapphira. There's a story of of a couple named Ananias and Sapphira who gave money, but they were giving it in deceit, to giving it to Peter and all that for the expansion of the church and all that. But they were giving it in deceit, and Peter came to them and said, by the inspiration of the Spirit, "You're going to die." And they died there, and then their bodies dropped. They carried their bodies away. First the wife died, then the husband died. Boom. So that's the reality of God. You have to accept who He is, His nature, because when you accept it, you will join a wonderful dance. Wonderful. It's like a symphony. God created you to be in His symphony. He created you to be in His dance. You know, like in that movie, The Greatest Showman. I believe that's what the next revival and reformation are going to be like. It's going to be fancy and wow. But first, you have to accept His boundaries. This is what He made you to be. He didn't make you to be an animal. Imagine even animals are not having sex with other animals. Because of man, we're the ones that led them into that. Man, through one man, sin came into the world, and death, and through sin, death came. So we're the ones, you know. That one man was Adam. And yeah, now we have people being born with diseases and genetic disorders. Now we have to come with seraphim power and heal all that. So hopefully you'll be able to accept those terms and conditions. Hopefully, I pray God gives you the grace to accept them. You know, Jesus came with grace and truth, so He would call all the sinners, "Come on, you prostitutes, come on, tax collectors. But first, accept what you're doing is a sin. And then come. And those who are forgiven of much, love much." Come on, prostitutes and all the people. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. Boom, boom, boom. 3 false doctrines. Stay away and just be in the Word and be like a child and read things for what they are. They're not so hard to understand. Yeah, so goodbye.